Hi, guys. Yeah, I just moved to San Francisco with the German Silicon Valley program, but that's not what this presentation is about. I really want to get into how I see that fashion's going to change in the next couple of years, actually. So I want to start I talk a bit about my company, Nelu. Then I will talk about how fashion was pretty much changed by the internet. And then I will talk about what I think is going to happen in the near future. So imagine you're a fashion designer, right? So you come out of university, your parents spend a hell lot of money on your education, and you really think you're a superstar designer, otherwise you wouldn't get into fashion, believe me. I mean, this is a very hard job. It's a very hard field, and you really might think there's something really great for you there. So what's actually your fan base? So you start off with your first collection, and it's basically your first 2 girlfriends that you have from school and from, way back when, and they're like totally with you, and they will always be with you, and they're just your superstar friends. Then, of course, it's your parents. They have to be basically your fans, and they will always be there for you. And there will always be 2 gangster guys. They will be the guys who say, okay, can you sneak me into the next fashion show? I really want to meet the models and stuff like that, and they will always be there as well. Now, the problem is this. You are a female clothes designer. So what's actually your market size? You've got the 2 girlfriends, and you've got your mom. The guys you can forget about. However, the problem is now that these guys will not actually be willing to pay anything. So your market size is actually 0. So the next thing is the customers, right? So let's face this. When you're little, right, it's really cute if you all look alike, and you remember maybe that when you were little, you would go to your mom and you're like, oh, my friend has this cute dress, I also want it, I want to look like them, you all want to look like twins. It's really cute, and you can see that these little boys look really cute in their dresses as well. It's also cute if you're triplets, really cute, you have your little band, you go out there, you do your music, and you all look alike. But what about if you actually have a job and you're serious about life, you don't want to look like all the others? As you can see here, the only way they can differentiate themselves from each other is by putting the ribbon on the other side of the hat. So that's really not working for you. So what's the solution? We saw the gap in the market, and we decided to start a company called Nelu, which is basically the platform on the internet where you can buy unique fashion clothes and designs from all over the world. So we have designs from over 30 countries, and we cater for everything and everyone. And the really great thing about today is, I will talk about it in a bit as well, that brands are out, right? People do not want to buy brands anymore. People really want to identify with designers they're buying from and really want unique things. So we cater for everyone. I mean, we've got clothes for men, for women, for children, vintage-inspired, everything. As I was saying, we've got designs from all over the world, because we really believe that the idea is, if you're a fashion designer, and you've got, let's say you're a fashion designer in Berlin, you can only cater to the Berlin audience. So there needs to be another way of basically catering for people in France as well. You don't know, maybe there's someone interested in your designs from India. So how will you get them? You can only get them through the internet. So this really opens up a whole new market opportunity for you to be on the internet. But because, it's very hard as an individual designer to be found, you need to be on a platform. And this platform really presents design. We only have designers on our platform that apply to us. You cannot just join us, with your, these are all professional designers from around the world. So now I want to talk a little about, this whole, how fashion developed and how it changed over time. So here's a little joke. I wish my shirt had a logo or a product on it. Is it actually the whole thing? Yeah. A good shirt turns the wearer into a walking corporate billboard. It says to the world, my identity is so wrapped up in what I buy that I paid the company to advertise its products. And then the guy, you admit that? Oh, sure, endorsing products is the American way to express individuality. And that's pretty much how it was in the 90s. So I remember, nagging my parents, saying, I need more money, I really want to buy these brands, Everyone's wearing brands, and that's basically how it was in the 90s. So the big brands basically paid the magazines to be in the magazines, and basically every article was paid by big brands. So we only knew big brands, right? There was no handicrafty things. no one was producing anything. We would just be pure consumers, and we like so hooked on the brand thing. We would all want brands. Now what happened after 2000 is that the whole blogging atmosphere came up, right? Now all of a sudden, every single person could express their individual, point of views, and they would actually do that, right? Now everyone got a voice, and they went out there, started their own little blogs, mainly women, and then they started talking about where they found this little cute shop about this and that, and where they could get this and that. And so you started realizing it's not so much about brands anymore, it's really about individuality, about hints and tricks and where you can find things that are unique and really express yourself through styles and, identifying with designers and that kind of stuff. And that really changed the whole way fashion is now perceived and received. And this is why, all these platforms that were just presented before are so successful. And this is also why Nelo is doing so well, because there's really, people are not so, keen on brands anymore, but they really want to identify and, basically find the next thing. So basically, Nelo is really giving you an opportunity like YouTube does for music. If you look for new music trends, you go on YouTube, and you spend your time on YouTube trying to find, new artists and stuff like that, and that's what we do with Nelo. So you come on Nelo, and this is where you can find new trends and be sort of the innovator of fashion. Now, the whole internet changed e-commerce, right? So back then, you would go to town and actually make time to go shopping. Now, this wasn't necessary anymore. You had like all kind of websites, and you could just spend your evenings on the internet and just search for products worldwide. So it wasn't anymore about, I'm going to town, and I can only buy what's available in my town. Now it was really about buying from around the world, and that's really helping platforms like Nelo to actually grow. Then, of course, there's m-commerce, which is coming up. You've got tablets now. And now there's this new big thing, and I don't know, maybe you've heard about it, using waiting time. And Tesco had like a great idea of doing it. And probably some of you know the video already, but I just show you anyhow.
Koreans are the second most hardworking people in the world. For them, grocery shopping once a week is a dreaded task. So we decided to approach these busy and tired people. Idea: let the store come to the people. We created virtual stores, hoping to blend into people's everyday lives. Our first try was subway stations. Although virtual, the displays were exactly the same as actual stores, from the display to the merchandise. Only one thing was different. You use smartphones to shop. Scan the QR code with your phone, and the product automatically lands in your online cart. When the online purchase is done, it will be delivered to your door right after you get home. People can relax more after work and on weekends.
So how is all this relevant to Nelo, right? I mean, as you can see, now it's not even spending time on the internet at home to look for new fashion things or to look for anything new. It's actually waiting time. People are using waiting time to sell products to people. Now, we were partners of the Vienna Fashion Week, and we published the first Mag to Shop magazine, because a lot of the times you get really fancy magazines, all these female magazines, Elle and whatnot, Cosmopolitan and stuff, and you look at them and you're like, oh, this is really nice and very inspiring, but, so what? I mean, I can't buy those products. So as you can see from our magazine, all products were purchasable straight, through QR codes, and you could really consume those products if you wanted. Now, we believe that a big fashion revolution is actually going to happen, and it's not there yet, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it right now. So you know how in music, when you go, for example, on the website Last.fm, there are like big labels, like Coldplay or Madonna, and then there would always be similar artists which are not as popular and not as well known below, and you can basically, recommend them straight, you get them recommended. This has not happened in fashion. So we're going to be the Robin Hoods of fashion. So what we do is, we're going to go out and basically steal the attention of the big brands, like they did with Last FM, steal the attention from Coldplay and recommend, younger, more independent musicians, and basically give it to the little indie labels. So how is this going to happen? So we are working with partners right now, for example, Pixray, who are working on photo recognition softwares. And eventually, the whole world will be your catwalk. The whole world will be your inspiration. So you won't need to go shopping anymore. I guess even retail store will become less relevant. And you will actually just go out with your mobile phone, and this is a post-digital thing, and whatever you see is your inspiration. You see it, you take a picture, and then you basically get a similar product from an indie label recommended to you, which you can then purchase straight away. And this is, I think, where the whole fashion thing will go. We will not go shopping anymore. We will not have to set time aside to go to town or even to go online. The whole world is moving away from brands. It is really about expressing individual, unique style, and all you need for that is inspiration. So if I see someone at a party, or if I see someone at a gallery, or if I go anywhere, and I like that person's product, I can get recommended a similar product straight away. And I think this is where we're heading, and this is what we're going to do. So make the world your catwalk, and enjoy not having to go shopping anymore in physical stores, and just enjoy fashion, and express yourself. Thank you very much. If you want to get in touch,